It's Thursday, January 14th, and you're listening to the Geek News Central podcast, sponsored by GoDaddy.com. Geek News Central is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. Everyone, I got a great show for you, man. Oh, man, it is great. It is great to be back in the saddle. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just been way too long. The last time we did a live show here in Honolulu was December 27th. So, a lot of things to catch up on. You know what comes next. Strap in. Here it comes.
All right, people, I need a go, no-go for the Geek News Central podcast. Digital archive recorders.
We're go fly.
Microphone.
We're go fly.
Video feed.
Go.
Web browser.
Go.
RSS data stream aggregator.
Go fly.
Interflux Toddism suppressor.
All right. I'm confused.
Host readiness check.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
The Geek News Central podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. Cue Todd in
5,
Button, who's got the button?
4,
There is no cause for alarm.
3,
Everybody hold on to something.
2,
Just press the button.
1.
Aloha and welcome to the Geek News Central podcast, coming to you as live as it can be from the beautiful state of Hawaii via the Geek News Central studio overlooking Greater Oahu. Hey, everyone, welcome to the show again. My name is Todd Cochrane. Of course, it is great. It is great to be back here in Hawaii for a single show. We'll talk about that here in a second. But I want to give a very warm welcome to the Ahana, all of the longtime listeners of the show. Of course, if you're a new subscriber to the show, thanks for being here. If you've caught the show that we were doing for 4 days straight in Vegas, I hope that enticed you to come over here and get subscribed to the podcast. But, you know, the main thing is to get over to geeknewscentral.com. Check out all the great content over there. Check out our archive podcast via the podcast link on the website. Get signed up for our special media feed. That's going to contain all the content for all the stuff that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks as well. So, hey, that's the best way to get hooked up. That way you'll never miss a single episode. You want to definitely check out the newsletter as well. The newsletter is really where you sign up and you'll get that delivered directly to your inbox immediately following the show. The newsletter contains all the content that I'm going to talk about tonight with all the hyperlinks and everything. So we won't spam you with the newsletter. All we're going to do is basically send you the show notes. Well, I tell you, it's been a while. It really, really has, and I'm glad to be back in the saddle here in Hawaii. I had planned on doing, you know, it just seems like so long ago. I planned on doing a New Year's Eve show, but that just did not work out. So I hope you guys will forgive me. Don't know why I started coughing. I've been good all the way up till this evening. I got by this mic and it says cough, I think. But obviously headed off to Vegas on January 2nd, and it's just been a whirlwind of activity since then. I got into Vegas, it was Sunday afternoon, and met up with Andy McCaskey, and we kind of planned our strategy. Monday morning, Jeffrey Powers from Geekazine was in town as well. We all got hooked up, got in the rental car, and went and picked up all of the gear. We had so much stuff stuffed into the minivan, you could not have gotten another piece of gear in between the stuff that came from the rental company and the stuff that I shipped. It was purely insane. But everything went like clockwork. We went over to Las Vegas Convention Center. Got everything kind of, we called our contact at the broadcast operations at NAB at CES, and they rolled out a cart for us. We loaded this stuff onto a cart. I went and parked the car. That's a whole story in itself. And Andy rode the cart along with, and then Jeffrey just met everyone up at the booth. And we spent about the next 4.5 hours getting the booth kind of laid in, and then retired for the day, and then came back Monday morning, or Tuesday, finished getting everything set up. We did a short kind of a test show on Tuesday, then headed right out to CES Unveiled, and we covered that. Brought all that content back to the booth on Wednesday morning around noon, and we started putting CES Unveiled stuff into replay mode, and then, of course, went live Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, and we did 40 hours live at the show, and that was pretty exciting in itself. And really, I'm looking at, I'm offloading media, and you guys have been seeing some stuff come up on Geek News Central, but pay attention to TPN.TV. That's where the master feed for all of the content's going to be that we shot at CES. Now, the cool thing that is happening is that I've got all my floor interviews already edited. So I'm done. They are actually uploaded into on our Ustream channel. So all my content is actually, not all of it's edited. Some of it's just up there dropped in. So I need to go in and edit it, and then we'll put it up on TPN TV. And of course, I'll get it at the same time on Geek News Central. So that special media feed is going to be hot and heavy. It's going to start shoving a lot of stuff to you. Also, if you are a Roku user or even on Boxy, and that reminds me, hang on one second. With all the excitement tonight, I forgot to hit the start button on the the Roku channel, so they're going to catch us here midstream. But if you're watching us on Roku or Boxy, or excuse me, if you're watching us on the Boxy or on Roku, you'll find our Tech Podcast CES channel. That will have all the content that all the teams created. But I had 2 floor teams, and of course, someone always live on the broadcast studio. And things were just, it was insane. I think we did 250 total interviews between floor and live. I think we had like a little over 120 live and 130 on the floor. So got a lot of content to shove at you. Some of it you've probably already seen. Some of it, some of the other bigger outlets have probably already covered. But it was just a huge, huge amount of stuff to cover. And, we're really tiny team there. So it's, the live stuff was live, and I'm glad if you caught it live, it was great. And I'm sure you're reading all the different articles on all the other big sites, but we'll get our stuff up. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff from the live that no one else had. And so that will all be piled into the master stream. And of course, you'll be able to get that on the special media feed here at Geek News Central, or you're going to be able to get that, of course, over on the special tech podcast feed on the Roku and Boxy as well. So it was just, it's been crazy because we, Sunday night, we loaded, basically stripped the studio down in 2 hours, got it packed. UPS, let me take a shot of water here. Golly, haven't coughed all day. FedEx was still open, taking stuff, so we went right to FedEx. Matter of fact, there was people casing. There were so many people unloading. There was actually some issues there at FedEx where people were actually watching the cars, and they were trying to basically steal stuff. So we had people standing guard at the car, running stuff back and forth. It was insane. Monday, dropped the rest of the gear off, and then I flew home on Tuesday, and I have been busy ever since. But I'm glad to be back in the saddle here. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but I'm leaving again Saturday. I'm flying out Saturday. Going out to Texas for a week. So the next 2 shows after this one will be portable again, but they're going to be on a regular schedule. So if you are going to want to watch the show live, you're going to be able to catch me, I believe, Central Standard Time, around 8 or 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, both Monday and Thursday of next week. So, of course, we want to welcome you, those of you that are on Justin or even on Ustream tonight watching. Kind of late getting the Star Show tonight. Star Show started tonight, if I can talk, and largely because some more stuff came in. I had to unpack it, and really the studio's been in disarray, and got the studio kind of rearranged, and I got ready to get the show up. But believe it or not, this is the first show of the new year, which is kind of weird because we're already 13 days in. That being said, the lights are on only because of GoDaddy and other sponsors of the show. So if you are considering a domain name, dedicated server, virtual dedicated server, shared hosting account, whatever it may be, definitely check my good friends out at GoDaddy.com. You can use promo code Todd. That'll save you 10% on orders. Or Geek5. Geek5 will save you 15% on orders $20 or more. Todd20 will save you 20% on a 1-year shared hosting account. So check out all the great products and services over at GoDaddy.com. And if you're looking for some extra promo codes, go to geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy, geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy for all of my promo codes here at GNC. Well, what else is on my little list here? Hey, as a reminder, the Action Hotline is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 619-342-7365. That's 619-342-7365. Call in your tips, tricks, comments, or whatever you want to do to provide feedback for the show. You can always email me here at geeknews@gmail.com, and we got a bunch of email to go through at the end of the show. So again, that's geeknews@gmail.com as well. We want to thank Luxor Las Vegas. Luxor was our accommodation host at CES. They did a fantastic job. I was really impressed with the rooms, with the facilities. Even did a little gambling there. Really, it was a great stay. And even for a hotel that is probably considered to be older on the Strip, the rooms have been refreshed. And a nice big flat screen on the wall. Bose entertainment system, had a refrigerator, nice bed, good pillows, and that's really the important thing when it comes to, a long stay. Clean bathroom, the whole 9 yards. But I tell you what, we got some great deals. If you're going to Las Vegas and considering going out to Las Vegas, book your next stay at the Point at Luxor Las Vegas, and you'll find the link at Geek News Central. You find a banner there. Just click on that, and your support is greatly appreciated. If you booked a room at the Luxor, drop me an email. Let me know that you did. I'd like to kind of keep track on a show basis as well, and consider them for your next stay. They really took care of us, and I hope that you'll take care of them. What else have I got here on my list? Hey, as well, I did talk to a show host at CES, one of the show's fans. He wants to potentially be a podcaster here at GNC. I've actually gotten another email from another gentleman that actually has a show over at Tech Podcast already that wants to join the network here. And so I'll be talking to them here shortly, along with one or two more openings. So if you want to consider to be a show host here at Geek News Central, drop me a line at geeknews@gmail.com. Tell me about your idea. I'm looking for a mobile show, and I'm looking for a gadget show. And those are the two things. But if you got another idea, I'll entertain that as well, long as it's tech-oriented or something close to tech, social media, whatever it may be. Something will fit good with the website here at geeknewscentral.com. All right, what else have I got on here? Sounds better than the Sahara. I think I got smelled like the... Okay, I guess I'm not following you, the Tech Buzz, on what you're... Oh, he says the Tech Buzz was staying at the Sahara, and he says, I think I got sick there. He said, smelled like wet towels. That's the way another hotel I stayed at once in Vegas smelled. Actually, the room smelled like an ashtray. I got in a specific room, and it was horrible. And I turned around and went out. This was about a year and a half ago. Went to the desk and said, you got to get me out of this room, or I'm leaving the hotel. And they moved me to a different room. But do not ever, 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 ever stay at Circus. It was bad. I mean, really, really bad. So, but it's just, it's one of those things. So, anyway, yeah, definitely not a hotel to stay at. They need to implode that thing. I think they're just milking it for a while until it. Until it falls, it's ready to be in. They're going to get their millions out of it and then implode it. But just absolutely disgusting place to stay was from a room perspective. Okay, from a room perspective. All right, let's see here. What have I got here on my list? I think that's it. Let's go ahead and see what I've got for regular content tonight. Of course, I want to thank again the sponsors, and we'll have another sponsor message a little later in the show. But don't want to spend too much on CES because there's just going to be a pile of stuff that's going to be shoveled into the special media feed at Geek News Central. And I hope, again, that you will be following that and downloading it and spreading the word about it. And that will be the best thing. Well, I tell you, when I got back, the first thing that I saw in the news was the announcement by Google. And them basically saying, hey, by the way, on Chrome, we're going to drop support for H.264. And first of all, I looked at my watch to make sure it wasn't April 1st. And I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. The Opera blog says, is the removal of H.264 from Chrome a step backward for openness? You know, I'm sorry, but this is a step back completely. And I just don't get it. You know, this means that YouTube is going to have to be completely revamped. They're going to have to stop their deployment. I imagine they're going to stop their deployment of H.264 videos. That means that they're going to have to continue to go with Flash. The whole community has just about outraged over this. And really, it has me scratching my head. I just don't understand why they say, okay, we want to be completely supportive of WebM and VP8, which are two codecs. I'm like, okay, you want to support WebM and you want to support VP8. Okay, those are definitely open. H.264 can tentatively kind of be called open, but it really isn't. WebM really isn't. But they got Flash. Flash is not open. So are they going to drop Flash from YouTube as well? From Chrome? Are they going to drop Flash support? I just don't get it. And there's been some speculation that it's all about infrastructure. That Google's starting to say, hey, we're letting people upload these big videos now into YouTube, and we got to encode them in all these different formats. So maybe so where does this leave us? Because if you think about it, you've got Safari, you've got Internet Explorer, you have semi-support in Mozilla. We're really not complete for sure because they're still not on the bandwagon. But, there's this clash now where you've got Apple supporting H.264 completely. And if someone comes to my website, which we have a huge number of people now coming to the website with Chrome, so what do I have to do? I'm trying to go completely HTML5 on Geek News Central, and I want to be able to have, matter of fact, I'm like within a week, maybe 10 days from going completely HTML5. I won't have to use Ustream no more. You're going to get the raw video file. It's going to be a great experience. It really, really is. We're getting ready to update our PowerPress plugin. It's going to be built in. You're going to get HTML5. Every site that uses PowerPress is going to be able to do that. So here's the question then. Am I now going to have to encode my videos twice and put up a second video, WebM or VP8, so that a Chrome browser, when it comes to Geek News Central, can watch the videos? Or do I do like Apple does now when you go to a site that's got Flash, and do I flip you the bird and tell you to go use a different browser? Obviously, I want you to watch, so I'm going to have to do dual encoding. Now, YouTube is going to have to add VP8 to all of its existing files that's been uploaded, so they're going to have to re-encode everything. I just don't get it. And the video doesn't look as good. The H.264 codec is fantastic. The VP8 codec is not there. So it's not going to be as good of a user experience, or, for those of you coming to the website. I really don't get it. I be honest with you, I'm beyond flabbergasted on why they decided to do this. They say on their blog, and they said, Google product manager Mike Jazzarizzi, or whatever his name is, I'm just purposely destroying his name. We expect even more rapid innovation in the web media platform in the coming year, and focusing our investments, see, they say investments, that means infrastructure, and those technologies that are developed and licensed based on an open web principle. To that end, we are changing Chrome HTML5 video support to make it consistent with the codecs already supported by Open Chromium projects. Specifically, we're supporting WebM, VP8, and Thorora video codecs. Two sucky codecs, and we'll consider supporting other high-quality open codecs in the future. Though H.264 plays an important role, it plays the only role in video. They say an important role, it plays the only role. 99.9% of the video on the web is encoded in H.264. Are they smoking crack? Give me a break. I don't get it. You can tell I'm passionate about this. I don't understand their thought process. So the question for all of you, are you just going to use a different browser? Honestly, it really makes me angry. I talked to Angelo about it. He's like, oh my God. He just can't believe it. He just, he's just scratching his head. So we're going to have a fragmented web experience again. They just don't get it. They should have said this about Flash. Flash is what needs to go away. Yeah. So the Chrome operating system, Chrome tablets running Android. Does that mean all the Android tablets are not going to support playing back H.264 video? So now you've got Apple that only supports H.264, no Flash. And then you've got Android coming in here that's not going to support H.264 but will support Flash. You know what that means? That means we're all getting screwed. Boy, I just can't stop on this. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to do the show to talk about this. I really couldn't. But everyone needs to really think about that. There's a format war. Well, I'll have a browser for H.264, but what happens if you're on the Chrome or Android platform? You've got an Android tablet. Will you have an H.264 browser running on the Android tablet? I don't know. Means you're going to have 3 browsers, as the Tech Bud says. You have to have three browsers. But not on tablets, you're not. Is this really a play? Is this a play against Apple? What if now when someone comes to YouTube with their tablet and they can't watch any videos on YouTube with their iPad? Is Google trying to strong arm Apple and saying, you better support Flash? Is that what this is really all about? Is that what it's really all about? Maybe. Imagine you have your iPad and you go to YouTube and you can't watch any videos. Makes you wonder with the power play and play. All right. I've spent enough time on that. Let me move on. Love to hear your feedback. geeknews@gmail.com. Voicemail hotline 619-342-7365. Well, it didn't take long for Ray Ozzie over at Microsoft to really start putting the hammer down. The exodus of executives at Microsoft continues to happen, with another one leaving stage right today. 23-year veteran Bob Magillia is the latest casualty to get bounced out of Microsoft. This is in addition to 3 division presidents. So, with thousands of employees being laid off and executives being shown the door, this could get curious for Microsoft. Who's going to end up running the business? Are they bringing in fresh meat? We don't know. But very interesting moves going on at Microsoft with all these people being thrown to the curb. Okay, let's talk about the PBS app for iPhone. Well, it's pretty cool. The new PBS iPhone app streams TV shows for free, and this is a recently launched iPhone application that allows you to stream PBS programs. So the app also lets you view clips from shows, previews, and detailed schedules. I found this over at downloadsquad.switch.com. Thanks to them for the link. So if you're into PBS programming, pick up that application and give it a try. Let's talk a little bit about YouTube for the Android. YouTube app for Android is now getting pre-roll ads, so now you get stuck watching advertisements pre-roll. Isn't that great? So you're going to watch the Geek News Central podcast video on your Android, and bam, they throw up a pre-roll. Of course, everyone else is throwing up a pre-roll. I almost said P-roll, but it kind of is a P-roll, isn't it? So that's what's happening with Android 2.2 with the new YouTube app with them. So, and you're also, well, another thing they're going to be doing is you're going to be able to get access to Vivo's, VEVO, a music video library as well. So that's maybe the trade-off. So some information there. If you are if you've upgraded iOS 4.3,